Hey, welcome to my channel. I went live yesterday after the game. I was like really pissed off and everything like that. I mean, honestly, it's a game that should not have been lost, but it was. Having some time now to, calm down a bit. Um, we Everyone keeps saying it's like, oh, at least as a Giants fans, even though you lost, at least you're saying one thing: you've got a quarterback. You got your quarterback. Yeah, it's fine and dandy. The problem is like we don't know if he's going to be able to last for next year because the way he's running and the way he runs. I mean, that dude's going to be like pretty much taken out left and right. And the problem is like, will he be able to play next year? It's unknown because like it kind of reminds me a little bit of like Andrew Luck. Andrew Luck was doing really well his first three seasons, but then after a while, when he got that injury, boom, it changed everything. I mean, there's going to be an injury that's going to change him dramatically, and it could, and that's the whole thing. It's like it's great that we see something, a great future for him, and the fact that he has a wide receiver behind him as well too, not wide receiver right next to him, which is neighbors. The future looks pretty bright as well as with Scadaboo. Whew. I mean, honestly, if they get another, I mean, I hate to say it, Taylor Jr. has to go. I mean, he wasn't doing much. He wasn't able to slice through the Denver defense, but get someone that complements Scadaboo, and then I mean, Bellinger seems to be doing decent. I mean, him and Johnson were like pretty much having their way. Robinson, honestly, I don't know about that. The one thing though I will say is Hyatt, he's got to go. I mean, he's got to go. I granted, yeah, Dart threw the ball far, from Hyatt, where he was like maybe 3 yards ahead of him. Thing is, Hyatt didn't even make an attempt to put his arm out. Not even attempt to put his arm out. I mean, honestly, if you're seeing a ball and like you're going, granted it's like maybe like 2 yards away, at least try to make an attempt. But he didn't even make an attempt. That was a surprising thing. I mean, honestly, Hyatt's got to go. I hate to say this, McTominay. I mean, honestly, I mean, yeah, we could blame it on him if he got those two, if he got those two field goal point after attempts. Uh, I mean, we're not talking about this because like if he gets those two and then probably a third one as well too because the Giants then don't go for that 2 point conversion, we're probably up by like 3 points at that point. Actually, 4 points at that point. So Denver has no choice but to go and go and score a touchdown. But reality is I'm not going to play Dart on the interception because, like, let's be honest. Granted, he created the interception. The problem is, at least he came back. He came back basically. Um, I mean, it's. I mean, it's one of those things where I don't know. I can't blame Dart for that because like it was just one interception out of all the interceptions. I mean, granted, the Giants didn't give the ball away at all until that point in time. But the thing is, you're up by freaking 19 points with 18 points. Sorry, with less than about 6 minutes to go. 18 points and 6 minutes to go. Hell, you're up by 19 points by the fourth quarter. I mean, quite honestly, it's like I don't understand what the hell's going on. There was game clock management. I'll be honest, that game clock management that was an issue as well too. Because like, let's look about it this way. Before the interception, it's third and five, third and four, something like that, on or third and six, basically. I mean, if Dable is smart, he runs the ball. He runs the ball. Take him out. Force Denver to take that final timeout. You take that final timeout. Hey, granted, you're going to be punting the ball, but at least you'll be punting the ball at least versus that interception at that point. And then you still have the Denver Broncos have to go and charge all the way through the midfield and eat up some time at that point. Do you even bother to do that? The other aspect is like everyone's gonna say like, oh, it's you're at the goal line at the 1 yard line with 40 seconds to go. Hey, why don't you instead of going in immediately, just take a kneel or something like that. Let's be honest, this is Denver defense. Granted, yeah, the Giants were able to sort of carve up Denver's defense in the first 3 quarters, or at least the first half, anyways. Denver's defense started to lock in at that point. They started to lock in, and if I'm on, from my perspective, I would have gone in immediately, just score the touchdown, and then put it on my defense, which comes back to the defense itself. You're up by 19 bloody points or 18 points with 6 minutes to go, or less than 6 minutes to go, and you're playing cover eight. Seriously, you're playing cover eight, specifically to the point where with 37 seconds left. 7 seconds left, and you're still playing cover eight. You throw all your men at the guy, basically. You throw them at Nix. Nix is not going to go. I mean, if you blitz the dude, he's probably going to go get sacked immediately. Like, yeah, I can understand Burns' frustration. I mean, quite honestly, I hate to say this, but like Shane Bowen, Bowen's going to have to go. I hate to say this, but like Bowen's going to be fired. I mean, we've seen it time in and time out, basically. This defense, they do seem to be doing decent until the fourth quarter, and then just like, for whatever reason, the scheme changes, and then the team scores. I immediately saw it. I kind of called it out immediately on the first week when they were going against the Commanders. I mean, the Giants they were down, but towards that point, and towards the fourth quarter, like they were still kind of in it in ways. I mean, if you convert two possessions, they could win that game. Problem was, it's like they let Jane Downs throw that route to that out to, I forgot his name now, and they scored the touchdown, and then they were able to run away with it. And at that point, the Giants defense was like, it felt like the Giants defense was like, whatever, we lost this game, so it doesn't matter. But the reality is like, it's the coverage. I realized then at that point, every time in the fourth quarter, the Giants defense seems to let down, and I understand why. I mean, you're charging at them in the first three quarters. What the hell's going on in the fourth quarter? Is it because they're tired? I would say yes, a little bit of fatigue, but at the same time, it's their playmaking calls. Shane Bowen seems to change the game at that point, to the point where like he's never aggressive with his players. So you have Dexter Lawrence, you have Burns. Burns is now tied for the league in sacks right now. You have Thibodeau, and you have the number 3 or number 2, the number 3 draft pick, which is Abdul Carter. You're not even letting him go at it, basically. Now, granted, I don't know if Carter is great, but it seems like he's taking a lot of the pressure away, and that's allowing for Burns to go in. But reality is like, I don't want to say Carter's a bust just yet. Let him work his magic. Well, not work his magic, but let him work through it, basically, and maybe eventually he'll be able to figure it out, because you saw in the first 2 years at Penn State, he wasn't that great, and then eventually he started, it got better. I think he has to adjust at that point in the NFL. But the thing is, like Shane Bowen, I think I called it out in quite a few other videos, basically. It's like Shane Cohen is not the right defensive coordinator. If anything, I hate to say it, but like bring in Antonio Pierce. If the Giants have the shot, bring in Antonio Pierce, because quite honestly, Dable's not a defensive guy. He's been dependent on so many other defensive coordinators. They each suck almost every time. You've seen it time in and time out that the Giants defense is not doing well. They never close out. And for whatever reason, I mean, Martindale had, a blow up with Dable, and then he was gone at that point. I mean, it's sad state that we're at, but reality is basically, I hate to say this, but you know what? I think Antonio Pierce makes sense. Let's be honest, like when you saw with the LA Raider, at the time when the Las Vegas Raiders were playing under Pierce as head coach, their defense stepped up. Their defense, I mean, granted their offense wasn't that great, but at least their defense was good. This is a case where like this Giants D, the front line. Now, granted, the secondary is all banged up. Banks and Phillips, I mean, honestly, they probably have to work themselves out. But the reality is like, I think they're gonna have to build up on that. But you need a defensive coordinator. With that front line, you should be going after the quarterback and going after him hard at left and right, basically, putting the pressure on the quarterback. But they weren't for some reason. They were just letting him have his way, and that's why Nix was able to have his way at that point towards the end of the fourth quarter, basically. And the sad part is Burns being pissed off. I mean, if I'm Burns, I'm like, if we're having a defensive corner like this, I'm gone at this point as well too. Yeah, looking back now and looking at it now, like Daniel Jones, I think I don't know if he's great. I don't know, he's not that great, but he's definitely a comeback player. Is this because of the fact that Dable didn't know how to recognize what to do with them? I don't know. It's possible. I don't know, because like Dart, you're seeing what Dart is. I mean, you kind of wonder like if Dart has the right mentorship and the right coach. I think Dable is the right coach for him, because he seems like to be developing Dart, and you're seeing what he's doing in these past couple of games. I think he's the right guy for him. Should Dable be the head coach? That's a different story. Shane, I hate to say this, but like maybe Shane has to go, because like quite honestly, if you look at it, apparently from what I'm hearing, Shane wanted essentially, or Schoen, however you want to pronounce it, it seems like he wanted to get Shedeur Sanders instead of Dart. I think Dable recognizes talent, and he knows talent, and he knows who to pick, basically. I think Dable knew about Drake May. He wanted Drake May. He was telling Shane, like, you got to draft Drake May. I think he saw Neighbors, and like, we got to draft Neighbors. And Neighbors actually turning out to be good. and he wanted Dart, and I think he wanted Scadaboo too. I don't think Shane wanted Scadaboo. I hate to say it, but like Dable, if Dable's not a general manager, but I think he should definitely be top head scout because like quite honestly, he's a really good scout. He knows and he can recognize talent. He's definitely a good offensive coordinator too, or at least QB coach to be honest, because like he developed Josh Allen. So chances are Dart could be the new Josh Allen at that point as well too. We'll see next year. It'll be interesting to see. But quite honestly, at this point in time, as I was saying, Shane Bowen, you don't know what's going on with him because like quite honestly, when I mean I'm not gonna say that the Giants should have won the Commanders game, but like against the Dallas Cowboys, the way they came back and all that stuff, and then win in overtime, the Giants should have had that game. The game against the New Orleans Saints. I mean, quite honestly, I'll also put blame on Dable as well too, because like this is the lowly Saints. They should have had that win against them. So those two wins plus the Kansas City Chiefs. The Kansas City Chiefs was a game where the Giants should have won, and especially you saw in the fourth quarter how the Giants defense just let down. Basically, they just eased up and let them go through and let Kansas City run through them. Basically, if the Giants were very aggressive, they could have probably had that game as well too. At this point, the Giants should be probably at least 5-1, maybe 4. Well, actually 6-1. Yeah, they should be 6-1 instead of, or even yeah, 6-1 or 5-2 at this point. Honestly, like let's say they had the loss with the Cowboys, they should be still 5-2 at least at this point. Or no, sorry, 4. Yeah, but right now it's not happening. To be honest, if the Giants had beaten, this is the game the Giants should have won. The Giants should, they just pretty much handed the game over to Denver, and they said, yeah, we'll take it. They handed it basically to them. The Giants had them beat for the first 3 quarters, and that was it. And like it's just, I'm about to get my blood boiled again, but like this is a case where like the Giants should be in the playoff hunt right now. This is like they should be in the thick of things because this is the NFC East. Philadelphia's coming back to it, and the fact that the Dallas Cowboys are one. But the thing is like if you look at the rest of the league, the Giants should be able to make the wild card spot if they had won and beaten the Cowboy. I mean, beaten the Denver Broncos. If they'd beaten the Denver Broncos, this would have catapulted them to next week against the Eagles. But at this point right now, this loss to the Broncos pretty much shows that the Giants' season is pretty much done for it. They're not making the playoffs. There's no playoff push. Dude, let's be realistic. They're not making a playoff push. Why? because 2 factors. One, next week they're going to lose to the Eagles. They're definitely losing to these because of 2 factors. One, Eagles retribution revenge game. They're going to go wild on the Giants. Number 2, and the biggest factor is the way the Giants lost this game. They're not gonna. They're just gonna be so disheartened. They're just gonna let Philadelphia walk all over them. I mean, Dart's gonna try to do the best he can to keep them in check and try to keep them in the game. But the problem is like Dart, he can only do so much. I mean, he pretty much literally tried to win this game on his own back. But the problem is Shane Bowen decided, you know what? We don't need this. It's like it's as though Shane Bowen is trying to sabotage the Giants. It's possible. I don't know, but yeah. Let me know your thoughts. Please leave them in the comment section. As I said, Shane Bowen is definitely gone. We know Shane Bowen is gone at the end of the season. Will Dable be gone at the end of the season? It's hard to say. Possible. If they have another 2 of these type of losses this year, yeah, I think he's gone at that point. And the other aspect is like Shane. I think Joe Shane is probably going to be. He's going to be gone too at this point. And I know Mara doesn't want to do this, but I think he has no choice, and he has to get the right person in place for this. Who that is, I don't know, but time will only tell. Again, I think Dable would make sense as an offensive coordinator. Let him build on Dart. He can definitely build Dart. He can definitely mold Dart. So I don't want to lose him because of that factor. But if he keeps doing this the way he does this and coaches the way he coaches, basically, specifically on the defensive end of things, and letting his defensive coordinator handle all this crap, this is going to be a problem. I mean, honestly, you could say it's all Shane Bowen's fault, but ultimately you're the head coach. You're telling Shane Shane Bowen is like, okay, I'm going to let you handle the defense. You go, Shane Bowen. If he's being honestly, he should have known what the setup was. He has the freaking headphones in his ear. He should hear what he says. If Shane Bowen's like, yeah, it's still 8 back. I'm Dable was like, what the hell? No. We're going aggressive. We'll start blitzing or something like that. That's on him. That is on him at that point. Honestly, looking back at it now, We could have had Sean Payton. We literally could have had Sean Payton. I think the problem was is Dable, because he had that first year, they went into the playoffs with Daniel Jones. Everyone was like, "Hey, Dable's the guy. He's definitely the guy." To say, but he's not the guy. He might not be the guy. I wish we could have gotten Shane Payton because like it would have been a great, reunion between Payton and the Giants because remember, Sean Payton. Granted, yeah, as an offensive coordinator, he was kicked out, but I think he would have been helpful for the Giants at this point. Honestly, I have no idea who the Giants should get as a head coach right now, but I think as a defensive coordinator, I think it makes all the more sense for Antonio Pierce to come in as the defensive coordinator. Or at least a linebackers coach. Let him be a linebackers coach at that point. Let him rebuild back up there, but I think he can definitely be a good defensive coordinator based on the fact of what he did with the Raiders when he was head coach for that defense. I think he should be that right person. If not him, I mean, Spagnuolo, we're not going to get Spagnuolo because he's happy with Kansas City. He was never a good head coach, unfortunately. He's a good defensive coordinator, but as a head coach, he's not a good head coach. We've seen it time and time and again. I don't know. Only time will tell. Again, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. I know it went a little bit over, but it was just a game that was not expected. With that, I'll leave it at that. If you like this video, please hit the like button. If you like my video, please hit the subscribe button if you haven't subscribed. With that, I'll leave it at that. Unfiltered, unedited, of course. As always, unrehearsed. Until next time.